This video is about a modification I did to my wood lathe. In fact, I did it to a previous wood lathe and it was so useful that I decided I'd do it when I upgraded to this new lathe. Basically, it's effectively a clutch that allows the drive to be stopped whilst the motor is still running, and it works on any motor that pivots, such as this one here. It's got a pivot and relies basically on the weight of the motor to keep tension on a belt. Although with this machine the weight of the motor alone wasn't quite enough, so I added a gust strut spring of the appropriate strength to give it a bit more push to tension the belt. So the clutch works simply by lifting the motor and slackening the belt, and that's achieved by a Bowden cable, which is basically what the old choke cable used to be in some older cars, or like a motorbike brake cable where there's a cable inside an outer sheath. The foot pedal is made to pull the cable by simply pushing quite easily on a foot pedal, and that transfers through and lifts the motor, and thereby slackening the belt, and the power then goes out of the drive. The drive will stop very quickly, and it can all be done without switching the motor off or slowing it down, which not only makes the lathe far more useful, but it also makes it safer. So then in the event that a person was to get caught up in the machine by pressing the foot pedal, which would probably still be possible, then the danger is reduced. So it is a pretty simple idea, but it really is effective and works well. The lathe obviously has variable speed, but it's still a nuisance to have to switch it on and off. It's time consuming. You have to wait for the motor to wind down, and it all takes time, and it also requires your hands to be taken off the job to switch the thing on and off. So with the foot pedal it becomes far more convenient to do that. Stops virtually instantly. You can check what you're doing very quickly and be back on the job almost instantly again without putting your tools down or changing what your hands were doing. So it really is a very useful aspect to add to your machine. This just shows how quickly you can stop it. As I said, virtually instantly, no power in it at all once you press the pedal. This is just a bit of a demonstration to just shows that the full power of the lathe is still available when the pedal's not depressed. It doesn't change the performance of the lathe in that respect at all. So you still get full power, but with the added bonus of the safety and the ability to stop suddenly like that, check what you're doing, and then carry on. And if you're doing something really delicate, you could also limit the power of the machine with the pedal. This can be used not just for wood turning. I've used the lathe with the reduced power to do other things. I built a clock which had an electromagnet aspect to it, and I used the lathe with this diminished power with a slack belt to wind the coil, and this shows it in operation. The lathe is actually running backwards here, and I also rigged up a counter which just had a magnet holding a sensor to the headstock, and very easily fitted and removed. That then became a counter for winding wire, and again, because the power is taken out of the drive, there's no danger of the wire breaking. It's a very delicate wire and a very delicate job, but in the event that something happened and it jammed up, rather than break the wire, the machine just stops, because the belt is still driving a little bit.